What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode, we are back on our boy Bender here. Got a lot to get done. I'm hoping that we can finish up on getting at least all the bars in it today. But let's dive into today's episode. Gonna be a good one. Alright guys, so on today's episode, we're going to try and get the rest of the bars put in. As you've seen in the last video, there are a ton, and I mean a ton of bars in this thing. However, there are still a lot more bars that have to go in. And not big bars, these are all the bracing bars, all the bars that have to go. Basically, you have to gusset this bar, you have to gusset here. There's gussets that have to go back here. I have to still finish on top. You can see there's a bar that goes across there, and there's got another bar that's got to go from there to there. So there is a ton of bars, and when I mean a ton of bars, I mean look, all of these bars still have to go in here, and they've all got their place, but it's going to be a lot more welding still, but I'm hoping once we get these bars in it, that's going to be the rest of the bars that have to go in this thing. Then, and only then, the cage will be done. Then we can clean it all up and paint it, get the floor set in it, and finally make some real big progress on this thing. I mean, we've been making a ton of progress the past couple weeks, but if I could see the rest of the bars in the car, man, would I be excited. So I'm going to dive into this. I think I got all of the bars deburred. So basically what, there's usually some slag, let's use a single focus, inside of this bar. There's some slag that's coming from when they cut it. Basically what you do, you take a little Dremel on the inside, and we deburr it basically, and then we will take this little grinder here, and we'll put this bevel in this bar. I don't know if it's going to focus very well, but there'll be a bevel in it, so that basically when this bar goes in, this bar will then sit nice and flat, and there will be no gaps. The camera will focus here, and then there'll be no gaps. So basically, it'll see nice and flat, and then this bar will go. This bar is going to go right there, so I'll have to trim all that. But I'm going to start tacking the bars that I have already prepped right now. So let's get the welder hooked up, and let's get into getting some of these bars tacked in. Alright guys, so you just seen we got a couple more bars put in the cage here. So I ended up getting this bar here tacked in, and then I managed to get those 3 up there all tacked in. So we're making good progress. Some of it is really tight in there. It's not easy to get in where I need to get in, but yeah, so we're making progress here. Like I said, I got this bar in, I got this bar and this bar in, so now all this is all triangulated. There's going to be a ton of strength in here. So now I got to do the same thing that I did here, but on this side over there. I've also got to get this bar, that's hard to see, this bar here has got to get welded in. It's just sitting there now. There's another bar that's going to go here to over there. I got to get that bar in, but we're making progress, and I am excited because the sooner I can get all of these bars in, the sooner I can get to working on more of the rest of the car. But I'm going to dive back in and try and get the rest of these bars all tacked in, so then we can just weld away. So let's get back into it. Alright guys, official moment of truth here. I have all of the gussets in it. They're all tacked in. So, all the gussets are in. They're tacked. Everything's set now. As you can see behind me, I've got all these bars all done here. I've got all the bars up here all done. My X is done. So, all the bars are tacked. Now, I just have to spend about, I don't know, 3 hours or so welding everything fully. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to weld all the braces. I'm going to get as many welds as I can done before I cut the cage out and set it down. Well, what I mean by that is we're going to weld everything I can weld that I can get to. Some of the things that are in here you can't weld, like up top on here, you're not going to be able to weld on the top of those joints. So what we'll do, as I'll show you here in a little bit, is we'll cut the cage out, because it's just tacked to the body right now. I'll cut it out and it'll lower the cage probably about, I'm hoping at least 6 to 8 inches. And that will give us enough room to weld all the way around on those joints. And then we'll put it back up for the final time, and we'll officially weld the cage to the chassis and make everything super sturdy and rigid, and that's what we want. So I'm going to dive into getting everything welded right now. So bear with me, this might be a little bit of a long time lapse, but there's a lot of welding to do. So I'm going to get my welding equipment on, and let's get into welding. Alright guys, so as you see, I went and cut the cage out now. So we have the cage out. I went and cut the tacks off over here, over there, and then both on both sides there. So now, as you can see, the cage is now down about 3 inches or so in the back, but in the front is the biggest one. I've got a ton of room up here now so that I can get these welds all done. Now I've already went and I got started on this side. I got both this front side, and I've gotten all the ones over here pretty much done. If we go over here on the other side, I've actually got some of them done, some of them not done. I've got this one done, but I've got all these up here to do. I've also got like all these to do, these in here. So what I'm gonna try and do now is I'm gonna try and get all of the rest of these welds all done, so that hopefully here in about, I'll say like in an hour or so, I'm gonna have all of the welds pretty much done, and we can put the cage back into Bender and hopefully get the down bar set, and we're really gonna start pushing to get these floors in. So let me get back to welding, and I'll jump into that really quick and hopefully knock this out in a short little time lapse. guys, so as you've seen, we finally got all of the bars up here on the tops of the cage finally welded. That took me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. If you can't tell, my face is kind of peeling because I had those goggles on, if you guys seen, and I put a little face mask on, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to keep me out of everything, so I did get a little burnt. No big deal, it's part of it. But in the next time we do another cage, I will make sure I get something a little more thick so that doesn't allow that to happen. But I did happen to get all of the tops of all the bars welded in this video, so that is awesome. I was also able to get some of the back here on the side of the door bar here, where it fits all the way towards this pillar here. It actually, you can't get anything in there to weld it. So now with the cage kind of leaned forward here, you can actually see this is down quite a bit, but I was actually able to get this weld here done, as well as get a lot more of the rest of it. I was able to get everything. It really wasn't too terribly bad. Once you are able to lower this thing down, there's a lot more room than you would think. I mean, it's still not enough. The better way to do it would have been to pull the roof. I don't want to pull the roof. This comes down far enough. You just kind of deal with it. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. When you're building these things, it kind of just, it is what it is when it comes to stuff like that. Some of the things are just kind of a pain to get to, but that is a big step for the project here. Fender is definitely starting to come together more and more. You can see I got our X in there. I got all that welded. I got all the bars over there done. I was able to get our braces for our door bars all done. These are all fully welded. I was able to get in on that side too, where that hoop goes, or the structure comes. I was able to get all that welded. Let's see if I can go over here, kind of show you what else we got all done. So all of this up here, I got all that all welded. Was able to get this joint, because this joint actually sits all the way basically up inside of here. This one, and then it's hard to see, but up there's this big joint where everything comes together. I actually got all the top of that all welded. So again, lots and lots and lots of stuff was done. There's still more to get done on this. Now that the floor and the cage is down, it's actually going to allow me to, I'm going to come in and I'm going to plate this here, and then I'm going to make where this bar here kind of rests against it. I'm actually going to tack that to there, and then this tube right here actually comes on the inside of the frame rail over here. I'm actually going to make a gusset or a plate for it to sit, and this bar is actually going to be welded to the frame. This is going to be welded to the frame here. So even though we cut the floor out of this cage is going to add a ton, and I mean a ton, of rigidity back into the car. So I know a lot of people will be like, well, you cut the floor out of it, and everybody's gonna be like, okay, well now there's no structure in there. But when you put the chromoly into this thing and you tie everything in correctly, it actually adds a ton of bracing to the car, so it actually makes it very, very rigid. And that's what you want. You don't want the chassis to go and twist, especially when we're going to be trying to go 4s in the 8th. We definitely want everything to stay where it is, and we want everything to be safe. So stay tuned in the next video. I'm actually going to move the car from here over to the lift, but I got to get that Shelby F-150 finished. We're actually going to finish welding the bottom of the cage, get it all settled up, and then we'll put it back up in the car. I also want to, in the back, do some weight reduction before I put the cage in, do some clearances and things, because once we put the cage in, I do want to run the rear interior in it, not the seats or anything, but the rear panel covers, to try and keep some of the noise down, because not the noise, keep some of the smoke and stuff out of it, because I am going to drag and drive this. So I do still want the street car look of it. So I am going to try and put as much of the rear interior back in it
while still trying to keep this thing as light as possible. Because, excuse me, my goal for this is for the car to weigh somewhere in the 3,000 pounds with me in it. That's where the cage will cert the best. So I have room to grow. Obviously, we're not going to try and set world records. I'm not trying to be the next Brett LaSalla or anything. But I do want to be fast, and I do want to be competitive next year. So I do want to keep some of the weight down, but I also still want the stock appearing interior in this car. I still want to be able to go take this thing down and go get ice cream or go get groceries, or just be able to drive it. And I think keeping a lot of the interior in it is going to make it so that I want to drive it more versus having just a tin can of a car that makes a bunch of power that I can only drive at the track. So with that being said, I'm going to end off this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check in about a week or so, and I should have another update with us putting the cage back in. And hopefully we will move on to the next thing, because we still got a ton of stuff for this thing and a ton of stuff to do to it. So again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Peace.